and welcome to Lavonne's Kitchen. Today I am in the kitchen doing a seafood boil, my version of a seafood boil. You know, a lot of people do crab seafood boils. Well, I didn't have any crab legs, so I'm going to use lobster instead. That's how we do it in Lavonne's Kitchen. So, let's get to it. I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to my ingredients, and we'll go from there. So, like I said, we're going to use lobster tails instead of crab. That's going to be one of our seafood, and we have some shrimp. We also have some smoked sausage. I don't particularly like andouille sausage, but if that's what you like, that's what you use. I have an onion, some corn on the cob, a couple of potatoes. I have real lemon juice. And I have some Zatarain's crab boil mix. So, let's get to it. And guess what? I'm gonna start first of all peeling my corn. And while I'm doing that, you know what I need you to do? That's right, if you're new to my channel, go out, hit that subscribe button, tell all your friends to come in and watch us as well, share the video, like the video, and please comment on it. And I'm gonna start on the corn. So basically, for my corn, I'm just gonna pull all of this off of it. When you're shucking corn, you just pull all of the green stuff down. You start at the edge that has the corn silk on it and pull it down. And then once you're inside with that corn silk, you do the exact same thing. You pull it down. Pull all of that down. Sometimes I'll twist it like so just to help get it down. And then of course, after you get it all down, you put it in some water and you wash it well. You always wash your vegetables very well. Try and get all of that corn silk out of there, okay? Look at that. I'm gonna do this one, and then we're gonna cut up some onions. So now that my corn is clean, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna cut mine into 3 pieces. You know, I don't want the pieces to be too big. So I'm just gonna cut it into 3 pieces. It's not that easy to cut corn when it's not cooked. Sometimes you can boil it first and then cut it, but I'm gonna do a boil, so I'm gonna boil it anyway. I'm gonna throw those in the pot. Cut our next one. Since we're cutting, might as well go ahead and cut up the potatoes. I've already washed. Well, let me cut my onion first. Because when you cut a potato, it tends to turn brown if you don't hurry up and use it. So let's do my onion first. Just a white onion. Throw those in the pot. Pull the skin off. Throw those in the pot. Then I'm going to cut my potatoes just into 4s. Nice size. These are Yukon Gold potatoes, so I'm going to leave the peeling on them. I'm gonna add some water to my pot and then add my crab oil mix. So I made sure that I put 3.5 quarts of water in my pot, and I can see that because this pot has measurements on the inside. I love this pot. It's from Viking, and I love the fact that it has its own measurings inside. So what I'm gonna do now is add my crab oil seasoning and let that go ahead and start to cook. I'm not gonna use this whole, well, why not? I'll use the whole thing, why not? All right, let's turn this on. Let's see. There we go. Get that to boiling. I'm gonna mix it up just a little. While that's boiling, I'm gonna go ahead and cut up my sausages. All right, so while that's boiling, I'm gonna go ahead and cut up some sausages to put in there. Add them to the pot. A couple more. That's enough. I'm also gonna add my lemon juice at this time. About an ounce. So while that's boiling, I'm gonna go ahead and prep my lobster tails. I have 6 lobster tails. Remember, I didn't have any crab legs, so I'm just gonna use these. So first of all, I'm gonna wash them, and then I'll show you how to pull the meat out. These are some nice sized lobster tails. They're about 3.5 ounces each. So, just to give you an idea of how big they are. These are some nice sized ones. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is flip this over and start cutting that shell, the inside shell down the middle. And then I'm gonna spread that apart and then pull the meat out. Stick my thumb under there and get that meat out. And because we don't want these to be decorative and on the shell and all of that, because we're gonna put them in the boil, I'm not gonna keep the shells, okay? That's another reason I'm cutting them this way, because normally I would cut them on this side. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut all of these up, and I'll be right back. So I forgot another ingredient, and that's my Old Bay that I'm gonna put on the lobster tails before I cook them. I just want to give this a stir. Oh, it smells delicious. I poked my potatoes with a fork to see if they were done. They can cook for a little bit longer, which is fine because our lobster tails are still cooking. We're gonna let that continue to boil. When that's done, we're gonna chop up our lobster tail and add it and our shrimp. So our boil has finished. Now I'm gonna make my Cajun butter and sauce, and let me show you the ingredients for that. So we're gonna use some cayenne pepper. I'm gonna just show you the ingredients as I put it in. A little cayenne pepper for heat. We're gonna use some Old Bay. Of course, we got 1.5 sticks of butter in there. We're gonna use some Old Bay. We're gonna use some hot sauce. I use Red Hot. And like I said, it's garlic butter, so we're gonna put a couple tablespoons of minced garlic. We're gonna use some lemon pepper. A little bit of smoked paprika, just a little. and our Cajun seasoning. We're gonna stir that up, and then we have one more ingredient, which is gonna be our lemon juice, but let me stir this up first. That butter's still melting. Put our lemon juice in there. And just go ahead and let that simmer and let that butter melt. I'm going to strain out, just like I cooked my lobster separately, I'm gonna do my shrimp separately as well. So I just wanna saute them for a minute before I put them in there. I'm just gonna saute them in a little in a little butter. So let's get our butter melted. All right, now that our butter is nice and melted and hot, we're gonna add our shrimp. While those are sitting there, I do want to add some Old Bay to those. We're just gonna let those sit there and saute for a minute. Okay, now that everything's done, like I said, I drained my crab boil to get all of that sauce out of there. My shrimp are done, my garlic butter's done, my lobster's done. Gonna add our lobster. I didn't put them all in there. We're gonna add our shrimp. And now we're gonna add our garlic butter over all of that goodness. Look at that goodness just pouring right on top of it. Oh my gosh. Yes. And I'm just letting it all heat up together a little bit. I'm just gonna mix it up a little. Oh, if you could smell it. Oh my goodness. Alrighty. It is time to taste. Let me get a plate so we can taste. Okay, so look at that, look at that. We've got lobster, we've got shrimp, potatoes, sausage, corn, and I can't wait. Look at this big old piece of lobster. Yes, I just want to taste that. That garlic butter, the garlic butter sauce, oh my God. That's everything. That's what makes the boil. Got to get into this potato. Oh, it's going down tonight. I think this is why my husband married me. You know, like I said, that song, love will keep us together. No, it's food. After 38 years, it's food. So, oh my goodness. I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna, of course, make my husband a plate, and we're gonna eat dinner, and guess what? I'll see you next time in the kitchen. Bye.